Louie C. the Mayor checking in. What is good, my people? Listen, I'm sorry we ran a couple minutes behind schedule, but we're going to bleed red and gray today. It's all good. Shout out to FloridaKeysInjury.com. Lawyers for all accidents in the Keys. If you have an accident, moped, car, bicycle, make sure you go to FloridaKeysInjury.com. Locals taking care of locals. 302 Southern Street. Them boys will definitely get you in the right direction. And Dr. B, the #1 doctor in America, advanced urgent care, Key West Marathon in Key Largo. Still got the COVID testing going on, so make sure you make an appointment. And a lot of good success with that new drug, ivermectin. All good right now. And we have you found paradise. About 20 years we didn't have a place to go, new place to look for Cuban food. This place is hard to find, but once you get to it, you'll find paradise. 124 Duval Street. Man, this is amazing. Go check them out. Make sure you hit the notifications button right over here. Boop! And those of y'all watching worldwide on YouTube, hit the subscribe button right over here. Boop! And right about now, well, you made it, huh?
What you got? I hope I don't smell like fish. I was cutting up fish when you called me.
I got you. So I got my man Chaz Jimenez, Key West High School wrestling coach. How you doing, sir?
Good, Bubba. How you doing?
Everything is wonderful. So we're going to be talking some wrestling today. And it's been a challenge. You know, it's been a challenge with school, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to get into the show and basically give the people a little introduction about yourself. So can you just give them a little introduction, how long you've been in Key West, and what's your history down here?
Born and raised in Key West. My family's from Key West. Multiple generational conch, both sides. And I just grew up around all Key West sports. My dad being a coach, for the football team for 30 plus years. Family always been involved with sports down here. So it's kind of just been a family tradition.
Gotcha. Okay. So we didn't have a chance to prep today for the show, but it's a live show, so we got to keep it moving. So we're gonna go blood raw. I already got some people checking in. Jason Garcia in the building. Sherry Culpepper. Hi, Chaz. Great to see you. Jason says you're a great teacher and great coach. So come on in. Any questions you got, we gonna make it happen. And that boy Jason came on the program. Guess what he said? If the Conks don't win the state championship in girls softball, there's only one place to blame. There's only one person to blame. I said, who's that? He said, Jason Garcia. He said he put everything he loved on that state championship. Hopefully we're going to be playing some sports. So, Chaz, can you break down your accomplishments as head coach of the wrestling program?
It's been a lot. This will be my 13th season, 12th season as head coach. And we've had 11 straight district championships as a team. And we've had, I don't even know how many state qualifiers. We've had dozens of state qualifiers since I've been head coach. Multiple state placers. Again, double-digit state placers. And I've had 2 state champs, and we've had multiple state finalists, and just as far as and I think my dual meet record's 180 something and 20 as a coach. So we've had a lot of success, but we've had more than success with accomplishments of winning. Just had a lot of success with kids becoming grown men and becoming great conks and just great people overall.
Nice. Okay, so we had 2 state champs, and who were those 2?
Ralph Major in 2008, that was my first year back. I wasn't head coach then. John Muller was head coach, and then Max Yama.
Okay, so congratulations to them gentlemen, and we got to support the wrestling program. We red and gray all day, so that is outstanding. Come on in, because right now I want to do a wrestling roll call. Who's your favorite wrestler of all time? I'll start this off. My favorite wrestler of all time is a gentleman named Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes, that was the man back then. I used to watch wrestling on Channel 6. Who did you like, Chaz?
I never really watched the WWF, WWE stuff.
At all, ever?
A little bit, not really.
Got you. Okay. So I was going to ask you to do a Ric Flair impersonation, so you can do it.
Flair.
Woo! Hey, that's what I'm talking about. So who's your favorite wrestler? Let me know where y'all at. I got a little roll call going. Willie G, what year did you graduate from Key West High?
2001.
2001. What's this? Jason Garcia says Jesse Garcia and Joseph Casola. Okay, so all love there. Thank y'all for checking in.
Two all-time greats in Key West High School.
Okay. Okay, awesome. And like I said, you done a great accomplishment there with the wrestling program. To me, you got to eat, breathe, and sleep. State championships, you got to put in the time. It's a lot of time for a little pay, so it's all good. Esther says Angelo, Antonio, and Andre Gibb. Okay, all three. So and this is all worldwide. So if you want to go local, we want to go WWE, WWF. It's all love. So who tell me we're doing a roll call in case you just got in here on who's your favorite wrestler of all time? Like I said, local, nationwide, and worldwide. Okay, now this one's gonna be a critical one. I'm gonna warn you ahead of time. If you had to pick one wrestler that can win an Olympic gold medal, who would that be? You had to pick. If you had to pick one.
Right now, it's currently wrestling.
Well, whoever you think still could go to the Olympics. And
you mean from Key West High? From Key West High?
Key West High. If you had to pick one wrestler, and they said, "Hey, listen, we need you to pick a wrestler." I know that's a tough one, but we got to strive for these cliffs out there to make it happen. Who comes to the top of your head?
Man, we've had so many good wrestlers. I mean, to win an Olympic title, that's a whole nother level of wrestler. Ralph Major was an All-American in college, so he was on that top level echelon type guy. But again, to win an Olympic title, that's a whole nother level.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But yeah, Ralph was All-American in college. Max Yama could have been an All-American in college. And D1, he had D1 offers. But that's a whole other thing with wrestling is to commit yourself just to be a high-level wrestler in high school growing up, or even as a kid wrestler, is really, really extremely tough. But to commit yourself to be a D1 high-level wrestler, even a D1 wrestler, is crazy. And then to be an Olympic international level wrestler is really, really crazy. It's really, really tough. So
since we didn't prep, I'm going to go ahead and let Chaz off the hook on this because this is a tough one to answer. And, you got to think big. This is, if you go to wrestling, be the best wrestler you can in the world. So, first you got to, like I say, crawl, then you walk a little bit, you jog, then you run, then you sprint, then you sign up for the Olympics, and then you try to win gold. So this is the level. Just because we're in Key West don't mean that you can't win a gold medal. You know this character right here?
I've seen him around here and there.
Joey Gandolf, state champion, 1984. This is my number one sports information director in the building. He says a great coach, an even better man. Comp Power. My man Joey. I don't care what they say about you. Y'all write in my book.
Thanks, Joey. Yeah, and those Gibbs, those are some of my best ever. And that's usually what happens is wrestlers come in brothers like that. You have groups of brothers that are all beat up on each other. And usually the youngest brother is the best one. And Angelo was the youngest one. He was a state finalist. But I won't say he's the best because then they'll get into a fight. But they were all pretty good.
Nice. So in case you come on in, we're doing a roll call. Who is the best wrestler, your favorite wrestler of all time, whether it be on the local Key West High level or worldwide, WWE, any wrestler, go ahead and come on the podcast and let us know who that is. So it's all love right now. Make sure you hit the notifications button right over here. Woo! And for those of y'all watching worldwide on YouTube, hit the subscribe button right over here. Woo! And for anybody who wants to be a sponsor of the show and want to reach thousands, make sure you inbox me and we're going to make it happen. Do wrestlers make better football players?
For sure.
Why is that?
Well, that's why I got into wrestling. My football coach was my dad and Jerry Hughes, and when Jerry came back down, he really pushed us to get into wrestling, and that's when there was a few of us that got into it. but there's a lot of crossover. It just works, goes hand in hand. Usually wrestlers make really good football players. Good football players don't necessarily make good wrestlers. But some of the, most of the best wrestlers we've had in QS high school history have been football players, multi-sport athletes. But it's just the leverage, footwork, power, hands, and just more than anything, it's just once you're done wrestling, you realize, hey, football's not that hard, You go out there and have football and you realize football practice isn't that tough compared to a wrestling practice or a wrestling match. And just the overall individualism that you have to, you can't hide. Probably the biggest thing is that you can't hide in a wrestling match. Whereas in a football game, you could hide sometimes, especially if you're in different positions. You could take plays off, you could hide. You can't do that in a wrestling match. So that's one of the things that scares the hell out of people when they come out for wrestling. When you're out there, it's just you.
It sounds like if you wrestle, you're going to be very conditioned.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to help you on that football field because it's intense and, you're going, like you say, one-on-one. And, it's very winded, so you got to be conditioned to really be in there.
It's more the mental conditioning because actually you come out of wrestling, football season into wrestling.
Right.
So, you really got to get in shape. That's the biggest thing. You think you're in shape when you're in football season, and you come out and you come to that first wrestling practice and you're dying. But more than anything, it's the mentality that wrestlers have that sets them apart. Okay,
so we talking Key West High School wrestling. We bleed red and gray. See, I got the KW. My man's got the KW. Mr. Jimenez in the building. So let me ask you this. First of all, before I ask this question, I want to thank you for the program that you've built there because you guys don't get enough support, in my opinion. I think we need to get more people to wrestling. You already, produced 2 state champions among other accomplishments that you guys have, and I think we need to definitely get some more people out there and be involved with wrestling. And coaches, like I said, they don't get paid enough money, and I'm on operation on that. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. What can people do if they want to donate to the program financially? How can we make that happen? Because fundraising is critical.
Yeah, and it's going to be even tougher now with everything that's going on. But yeah, they could always contact me. One of our main things is we do a lot of stuff through our club, Concord Public Wrestling Club.
Okay.
And then we also have Key West Power Wrestling Club, which kind of we all do everything together. And then always donate straight to the high school, to Key West High School.
Okay.
But yeah, Concord Public Wrestling Club is our main.
Is there a website or Facebook?
We have a Facebook. It's Conk Wrestling, Key West Conk Wrestling.
Okay. So make sure you check out that site, like that page, and let's get these people taken care of because it's hard out there. It's hard out there for sports. I mean, we win in state championships. Now we got to go all the way to gold medal. That's hard. We could make it happen here in Key West. You got to think big. Will there be wrestling this year?
That's a big question. I think we'll see how it goes with football. Because your 2 most contact sports out there are going to be football and wrestling. So I think if we have a successful football season, which I also coach football, we kind of don't have many outbreaks or kids stay safe and we figure out how to do it, we'll have wrestling, but it's going to be tough. There's still club wrestling going on. There's still not tournaments around the country going on. So it's getting people are doing it. It's whether the state, the FHSAA, and then the schools and school districts want to take that risk involved because there's no social distancing in wrestling.
Gotcha.
Right?
How are we doing on football?
We start next week, and then we don't get into actual. We start individual just drills and stuff next week, maintaining the CDC guidelines and stuff, and then the following, I think, week or 2 after that is when we actually get into contact, and then we have our first game October 2nd.
October 2nd. Okay, so let's see, because we will be in school before then, and let's see how it goes. But bottom line is, we're doing well on cases. And, the worst case, we have to shut it down. It could happen, but hopefully not. But I'm hoping these kids don't lose another year of eligibility because that's tough on kids. So I got a new program that I'm launching. Would you like to hear what it is?
What's that?
Operation Boost Supplements. I don't know if you're aware, but good old Ron DeSantis wrote out $500 million for the state of Florida for teachers. So that's positive. But I think I was talking to Superintendent School Board Member Khan here the other day about coaches, and I think we're overdue for supplements to be boosted because we've been sitting at that number for a long time. So I'm hoping that, once we get through everything and we move forward, we look at that because, it used to be 10 cents an hour. Now I think we're barely, a couple cents an hour now with the inflation. But you guys put a lot of time in there, and you got to deal with a lot of stuff. And I think you need to be taken care of. As far as I'm concerned, whatever you have now, we need to double it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, none of us coaches high school sports unless you're a football coach at Texas or in Georgia. No one's coaching high school sports for the money. But
Texas, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. Unless you're in Texas or Georgia.
Yeah.
But it is rough when you're putting time in all year round, and most of the stuff we're doing is all year round. Is not through the high school; it's through our own clubs and programs, and you're doing it just to get for the success of the kids. So you do it. It's a labor of love. Like I always tell people, when you sacrifice a lot of time with your family and friends, and for me on the boat, there's always sacrifices involved, and you do it, year in and year out, but. In the end, the success that you have with the kids is priceless. Like Esther just said, another one, St. Pierre.
Serious?
That's like one of her sons also.
Okay.
Between the Gibb boys and St. Pierre, the success of those guys as men, not just wrestlers, even though they're incredible wrestlers and football players, but as success as men, it makes it worth it.
Absolutely. Bottom line is, when you see this man on the street, even if you don't know him, what I'd like you to do is thank this man for the service, and any coach out there making it happen, because this is love of the kids and making kids grown men and have them do the right thing. So you can't thank Coach enough. For those of y'all that sometime want to add to the problem instead of the solution, what I need y'all to do, if you got anything to talk about, you pick up a forum at the school board building. You sign up for whatever coaching position you think you could do and make it happen. Don't talk big, do big, because especially where we at in the middle of this Netflix situation with COVID-19, we have to be part of the solution, not the problem. Shauna checking in says, our boys started practicing and one of them already has the Rona. Well, this is shouldn't be a surprise. This could happen. Where's
Shauna?
I think Shauna's in Michigan. Shauna, where you at? Roll call right now. Let me know where y'all watching from, and let me know who's your favorite wrestler out there, and we're going to put it right here on the Facebook Live. This one I'm not going to let you off the hook, so you're going to have to give me a name. So this was not as difficult, but I'm going to need one name on this. Who is your favorite coach of all time?
In my own life?
Yes, you growing up, who's your favorite? You got to pick one. I know you probably can name 10, but you're going to have to give me one.
That's really tough, too. That's all I was raised by coaches, so I always tell people, what they ask me, I had so much success fast and young. I grew up around coaches my entire life. Good coaches, great coaches. When Key West High School had amazing coaches in all the different sports. In my lifetime, especially being around my dad. I don't know, that's tough.
Well, I'm going to say my coach. You're going to have to give me one. I'm going to say my favorite coach of all time is a gentleman named Robert Santana. Old school Key West Conk baseball. But I can name a million coaches. I can name Coach Fraga. I could name Coach Mockingbird. But if I had to pick one, I'm going with my man Robert Santana, straight School of Hard Knocks 101. So Chaz, you go ahead and chalk it up. Who goes favorite coach of all time?
Favorite or best coach?
Your favorite coach of all time?
My favorite coach to be around was Coach Curry.
Coach Curry, okay.
Coach Greg Curry. He was the most fun to be around. But I had so many, like I said, between even my own dad and my wrestling coaches.
Nice.
Amazing wrestling coaches, Coach Hughes, Coach James, Coach Kramer.
Yeah, God bless Coach Kramer. He was a nice man. I met Coach Kramer when he first came into Key West High School on his first day. I was doing a sports program in the summer from college, and we broke Coach Kramer and Coach K. Hell of a man and very good with people.
And Coach Chuck, Coach Wise.
Chuck Freeman?
Yeah, I mean, you can name, I can go, the list can go on and on.
Chuck Freeman is a serious individual. He saved a lot of kids. He really did, because he was a special breed. Him and Pat Freeman sort of balanced out there with that coaching staff there, because these days, as we know, if you're going to go black and white old school, you're going to lose some kids. So you have to be a lot more patient than you was before, because if not, you're going to lose some kids. So I got DeMar Hunter coming in there. What that boy said, Chaz?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Who is your favorite wrestler of all time, whether it be local or nation, worldwide? Let me know right here on the live. And this is very critical. A lot of people come in, don't know you from Adam, and don't know me, and we get new people here all the time, and especially on YouTube. So I just want to explain. It's hard to really explain this, because you got to really be in the moment and really experience this. How special is it to put on a comp uniform?
It's the best thing ever. I mean, when I always tell my guys that, especially me, like I said, for me, it's really special growing up here and my family being from here. But when we talk to these kids about, I tell them all the time, what we have to do to have success in any sport, but especially wrestling, but all the sports, is above and beyond what anyone else has to go through. For us, the geographical obstacles, the adversity that we have to go through. We only have so many kids in this little town. We have studs after stud that come out of this little island. But the pride that's involved in what we do in our community, and how everyone loves each other and everyone has each other's back, makes it so much special, and so much more special than the other place. And that's why I've had opportunities to coach other places, I've had opportunities to coach college, and nothing is like Key West, and nothing's like our comp pride. And I think once people are around that, they realize that. And people like us growing up with it, we really realize it. But it's definitely contagious once people are around it.
No doubt. And we was doing Friday Night Lights before the movie, and it's very special. And I continue to preach this. We need to support these programs to the fullest. You cannot not believe, because you live in Key West, that you can't succeed. I don't care who we playing, where there's a 16A team. You got to go out there and think that you could win, because yes, maybe a team should beat you every time they play, but you just might beat them one time, and the mentality has to be there. And to prove this, just check in with the baseball program. 11 state championships. So if baseball has 11 state championships, the closest school is 1 hour away, a marathon, and we don't recruit, then that means wrestling could do it, football could do it. I know there's challenges. I understand that, for example, in football, we had no Western in the district. Believe me, I understand that. But don't take a field, or don't take the mat, or don't go on the court if you think you can't win. And this is contagious, because what happens is, when the mentality comes in for kids believe they could win, they're in the moment and they could shock the world. Nobody thought Ali could be Sonny Liston, and he did. He was only 22 years old. So it takes a special mindset. So it's not where you're from, it's where you at. And this all starts at the coaching level. And most importantly, let me ask you this: do we have any programs wrestling in the junior high level yet?
No, we're still. This year we're just trying to get that going, but that's going to be tough. We have our club, Concord Public Wrestling Club, and we're doing stuff with Key West PAL, and we're gonna, we've had little kids coming through, and we're trying to get the middle school going through HOB. Hopefully that's gonna happen in the next year or so with Pedro Lara, who's one of my best friends, and he's my workout partner growing up wrestling. He's still coaching varsity with me, but he's wants to take that over. So that stuff's in the works. That's the next level. A lot of kids we've gotten have come up and just started wrestling in 9th grade.
Nice.
And then they're wrestling against kids that have been wrestling their whole life. So, we've had a few kids here and there, like Jesse Garcia and Joseph Casol, and some of the kids that were on that list that were stud wrestlers. They started wrestling when they were younger, so that plays a big role. So that's the next step for us to get to the next level, to compete with the schools that are recruiting the kids that are coming from all over the country, all over the state,
Gotcha.
is to get our feeder program up and running pretty successfully.
DeMar Hunter, this person, Little Maxie?
That's Max Yama.
Okay. And JP says, no doubt. Jesse. Tangela was checking in on the podcast. All love. Make sure you hit the notification button right over here. Woo! For those of y'all watching worldwide on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button right here in this corner. Woo! And you ain't gonna miss no podcast. We do it Monday to Friday, 6:45. But like I said, the main thing here is that we got to keep at it. And to me, you can't start something early enough. If you can start one day into your life, so be it. Because the early you get a jump on it, the better it is. Let me ask you this. How successful has your program been with putting kids in college?
We've had a lot of kids that have had opportunities to go to college for wrestling. We've had a few, we've had, going back to when I was in high school, we've had a good amount of kids wrestle in college. But like I was saying, to get to that, to be a college wrestler takes an extra emotion, like internal intestinal fortitude. That takes extra sacrifice than a normal college athlete. So it's hard. It's a hard sell, right? Wrestling itself is a hard sell because it's just so tough and everything else involved. Then when they're already gone through high school and they've battled and they've accomplished what they've accomplished, to get into that next level is an even harder sell. We've had D1 offers turned down because kids just want to go to regular school and don't want to put in that extra sacrifice. You're not going to be a normal student as any D1 athlete or a high level athlete, but a wrestler for sure you're not going to be a normal student. Just because of everything, it's a year-round lifetime sacrifice. So they got to they got to maintain their weight, non-stop working out. So it's tough. We have one guy wrestling right now in college, Fidel Diaz. He's wrestling at Kaiser, and then but we've had a good amount. Almost every year we'll have a kid or two go away for school. Gotcha.
And some of them did go to college, but didn't do wrestling.
Well, most of them go away. Almost all the kids are going to college, and then they go to college for other sports. Like our last year, our state runner-up, Patrick Barnett's playing football at UCF right now.
Back to an old rule in the book: no pain, no gain. So if you're gonna do something in life, make sure you go out and be the best you can be at it. You see a guy named DJ Khaled. Well, DJ Khaled was a DJ on an underground station. He tried to DJ as much as he can. When people wanted to go to the club, he picked up shifts. Sometimes he DJ'd the whole night. He did the extra sacrifice that you talk about it in wrestling. So if you want to go and do college, you're going to have to work year round, and it looks like it's tougher than other sports. So that's what you sign up with. So it's all love there. Also tomorrow, City Hall, is a big meeting going on to find out what's going on with masks and bar stools at bars. There's a rally going on before the meeting starts at City Hall, so make sure you pull up and support that in peace, and you got to let your voices be heard, because up there's 7 people, 6 commissioners, 1 mayor. The mayor has 1 vote. Everybody else has 1 vote, so all you need to do is count to 4, and the direction will be positive. If your situation is brought forth in front of the commission and you get those 4 votes, you don't need unanimous, you need 4. It don't matter who votes on it. So we need to make sure that everybody's out there, and definitely the majority is still in charge, and make sure your voices are heard. Tomorrow, the world according to Fats. That boy Tony Yan is back in the program tomorrow. A lot of stuff going on, so it's all love. Thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody want to give a shout out, come on in. We're about to get out of here in a second. Shout out to FloridaKeysEnergy.com, Lord for all accidents in the Keys. If you have an accident, moped, bicycle, moped, or God forbid in that big ocean, go to FloridaKeysEnergy.com, Southern Street Locals taking care of locals. And Advanced Urgent Care Key West Marathon in Key Largo. Plus, have you found Paradise 124 Duval Street? Been looking for a new Cuban place for about 20 years now. Finally found this. A little bit hard. You're going to get lost a little bit. But when you find it, you're going to be happy as pie. So, Chaz, any words of wisdom? And as we step into 2020, 2021 season, anything you want to say to these people before we get out of here? I see you got, this character here?
DJ Laguna. Yeah, that's another one of my...
What's the name of it?
DJ Laguna.
Serious?
Yeah, it's JP's son also.
Okay. My man DJ. JP, see that man? I guarantee you, you ain't gonna have no problem with being motivated around JP Garcia.
Yeah.
That man's a motivator.
Yeah, we like to bring him in before our tournaments and have him talk to the guys.
Yeah, JP is no joke. JP, when he play, he'll knock your helmet loose and hit you again just to make sure that you straight. Keep playing to the whistle blows. Any closing comments, sir?
Hey, thanks for having me on, and thanks for everyone supporting in our town, and continue to show love to Conch Athletics.
All love, and I'm gonna tell you something. We're blessed to live in the Conch Republic. Cause see, Chaz was running a little bit late. Had he been in Miami, he never would have been on the show. So those of y'all complaining from riding to point A to point B downtown to Stock Island, think of what the people go through in Miami, man. This is lovely to live in the Conch Republic. And last but not least, I see you got the lacrosse shirt on there, boy. Who is Michael Knowles on production? Y'all have a great day. Don't start no stuff. It won't be none. Ha!